All right, we are towards the end of day two at the Amsterdam Holiday College Showcase. I've talked to what about a half dozen? Yeah, exactly that. Six different shaker players over the course of the last 2.5 months. I have waited patiently to pull this string.
Here I
Hi,
am.
Jaimee Shipley. What's up?
How are you? I'm good.
I'm tired, but we're getting
Yes,
there. We're getting
yes,
there.
we're getting there.
You have the last game of the night.
Yep. The midnight
Uh,
game, I think, right?
it does feel like the Maui Invitational a little bit.
Yeah.
It really does. Um, but I'd rather get that weekend out of the way than
Yeah.
have Maui Invitational. Well, then there's states,
True.
but
True.
we'll worry about them.
Yeah.
Two
Down
and a
the
half
road.
months.
Yep.
All in all, just in general, how you feeling about how the squad went through the first month-ish of the season? Has it so far met your own personal expectations you had coming out of tryouts and preseason practices?
I think so for the most part. I would say that we've had some ups and downs already in the short time we've been playing, but we're coming together and the kids are doing what we expected them to do, and some are doing more, which is obviously also always great. And just trying to we got some new pieces, so trying to kind of get everybody to figure out how to play together. There's still a lot we need to do in terms of putting things in and just practicing on stuff, but yeah, things are pretty good.
And it's been an interesting transition because I feel like slowly over the last couple of years, it's gone from a very upperclassman laden squad
Yes.
to now you're a team that's, uh, aside from Peyton Hoblock, you're a rotation that's pretty much all sophomores and freshmen at this
Yes.
point.
Yep.
What has that transition been like, as somebody from the inside over the last couple of years, having, like the Carter sisters coming
Yep.
through, Lexi Carrington, like
Yep.
having girls like that come through the last couple of years, and now you're left with trying to breed a younger group into meeting, the level of standards that they
Yeah.
helped establish.
Yeah. I think a lot of credit goes to them because they knew that it was important to kind of leave that mark and leave that legacy and be like, hey, this is what we're all about, this is what we're trying to do, and this is where you guys need to be. We're not always going to be here, and you need to pick it up. And just because you're a freshman or a sophomore doesn't mean that you don't have a voice, doesn't mean that you can't be a leader, doesn't mean that you can't come out there and score points and do all those things. I think sometimes the underclassmen will like try to take a back seat to those upperclassmen, and we've had upperclassmen for the past 3-4 years that have not been like that, have been like, come on, come on, come on, like urging them along. And I think that's really helped, even if they've only played with them for a year or they were on JV and saw that, and saw it in practice. And I think that's helped to get those younger girls comfortable.
And what's really interesting is that even though this team, was still relatively young last year,
Yep.
they got to experience, what some called unexpected success in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to the sectional finals against Colony. Do you feel like that experience has kind of given at least those that are returning from that sectional final maybe a little bit of like a chip on their shoulder? Like, we know we can get there.
Yep.
Now we just got to follow through and get the job done, and keep pushing this thing into early and mid March down
Yeah,
the road.
yeah, absolutely. I think that's spot on. I think that again, being having like sophomore, freshman, and then kind of having that and be like, okay, now we're juniors and sophomores, and a couple new freshmen and new transfer, sophomore, and they obviously weren't here, but yeah, from the core group that were here last year, which is only 5 of them, it's definitely helped. And it kind of is like, they talk about it and they think about it a lot, and they don't want to feel like that again. So it's kind of always on their minds about how to prepare and how to push forward and how to attack every single day to make sure that when we get to that point, we can push through any adversity. And it's not going to be easy because the section 2 and is just loaded with talent, and class AAA, where we fall is just, I mean,
It's gonna be a dogfight every single game,
100%,
especially in the suburban council.
100%. Yeah.
You mentioned the transfer. That would obviously be Malia Jackson.
Yep.
Which, I mean, right away it was like a post presence to add to all the guard
Yes.
play you have.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, I feel like there was maybe some growing pains during the Thanksgiving weekend tournament you guys played. How do you feel like the adjustments have been though in the last month since then coming into this holiday tournament, as far as being able to play off of each other's strengths between Malia and all that guard play you have alongside
Yeah,
her?
I felt like, especially last year, because we really didn't have that. Like Peyton's not really, a post player, even though she has the size, but that's not where she's most comfortable. So she likes to drop, just kind of like
6-footer with a guard skill.
Yeah,
set,
exactly.
yeah.
So, trying to get her to do some of that last year was a tough ask, and now she doesn't have to. And now we have that true post presence that we were missing last year, and it was definitely like kind of figuring out like, okay, what does this look like, for us against another team? And I think we kind of figured it out. I think those 2 games were really good for us, because then we kind of came in and kind of figured out what we wanted to do and what we wanted our offense to kind of look like, and how important it was to get her the ball, which I don't think we did enough in that first game. Started to a little bit more in that second game. So I think that was a good learning piece,
Last thing I want to bring up real quick.
Yep.
You have an Energizer bunny that's a spark plug off the bench named Ale Powell.
Yes.
Limitless energy, it feels like.
Yes.
I mean, I usually like singling out one player like that, but it's hard to not feel when she comes off the bench. She's immediate energy, immediate defense.
Yep.
Always making an impact, it feels like.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like the perfect thing in case you are coming out slow at any point. She can just come in and fit right into whatever the plan is.
Yeah, and that's what happened right in the game, in game 1 when we played Catholic High. We were kind of just a little bit sluggish, and then we put her in, and she just brought the energy level up, and we were kind of like, oh, this is what we have here. And she's done that for us a couple other games, and in practice too. We're working on, especially defensively. And she's doing stuff, and we just keep saying like, we need to match Lay's energy. Like, you guys all need to bring it up and match her energy. And so it's been really good. And again, another young player, but she's not afraid to make that statement and say what's on her mind too. So she's fitting right in with everybody else.
She certainly has no problem saying what's on her mind.
She does not.
Jaimee Shipley, head coach for Shaker. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.